Hey guys, King Dragon here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a storytime video. It's actually my second storytime on the channel. I believe I have another one. It's actually one of my oldest videos. But yeah, so welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a clingy and kind of crazy ex, to be honest. Now, I'm 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 not going to, say their names. I'm not going to say anybody's names except for the ones that I feel are okay with it. So, yeah, let's just get right into it, man. Let's just call this ex Elena. All right, let's just call her Elena. So, it all starts off in 2021. Okay. So in the year 2021, September to be exact, September 4th, if we really want to get, like that, I met this chick on a game called Friday the 13th, the game, okay? Now, this was whenever I was a League player. I still am, but this was when I was, uh, like a year into the League stuff, but that's besides the point. Now how I met this chick, me and well, no, not me, but my friend who was also in leagues and tournaments. He wanted to help this chick get practice. Okay, so and then he thought it was a good idea to have me on. Right, I'm like, all right, you know what? Sure, cool. I will help out. So I helped out. Uh, One thing led to another. Um, she was insanely flirty. She was insanely flirty. So so when that was over, which that lasted for about like 4 hours, maybe. Um, like 4 hours, but like two and a half with like me and her alone together, right? Because my friend had to get off. So after all that happened, I messaged this chick at I want to say like 4:30. And I was like, "Yo, I have something I need to tell you." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Cool. What is it, right?" And I'm like, I'll like tell you at like 10 o'clock or something, which I don't know why I made that time so fucking specific. Like, Dragon, what are you doing? But anyway, yeah, 10 o'clock, EST, is when I said. And then I was like, you know what? I can't wait anymore. And I decided to ask this chick out not even a day into knowing her, bro. Not even 10 hours into knowing her. I decided to go for the kill. By the way, don't do that. Never do that. Get to know the woman first, guys and ladies, please. Get to know your significant other first before you go in for it. Don't be like me. And I still do that shit, man. Do not be like me. But anyway, so that happened, and I decided to, go in for the kill, as the youngins would say. And she said yes. So, there's that. So, so that's kind of the backstory on how, we met and everything. Now, another thing I want to go into, like, about like a week into us being together, um, she mentions like her ex. At that time, she mentioned her ex a lot. Let's call him, Skylar. Let's call him Skylar, okay? Now, Skylar, um, he was like a 20-something-year-old guy. And at the time, I was 17, she was 15, okay? Um, he was like a 20-year-old dude, alright? Now, I knew that, and I was freaked the fuck out. I was pissed. The moment I knew that, I was like, dude, you're a fucking pedophile, blah, 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 blah. Well, all that was true, but it's what he said whenever, uh, me, him, and her hung out one day because apparently, they were still friends and all that, which, whatever, fine. But what the one thing that he said, even though me and him were like arguing a lot, but the one thing that he said that stood out to me was, "Yo, I'm just gonna let you know that this chick is not a good look for you, bro. She will destroy you mentally. Now keep that in mind. Keep that in mind." Um, and I basically just denied it because, like, it's the first week in being together with her, right? Like, I didn't, think anything of it. I was like, oh, what the fuck? He's just lying, right? So, fast forward to a week after that point. So I did tell you guys that I obviously was a league player, and those who know me know that, I'm a league player for F13. I would always go to practice, and I would always like go to league matches, but me and her would hang out every single day, like for basically the whole entire day, except for those like 3 hours that I had to go. And I would also always text her no matter what, right? So fast forward to that point, this chick was basically assuming that I was cheating. She was basically assuming the worst whenever I would always like tell her I'm not doing that, because I really did love this chick. Okay. Um. So, uh, the leagues didn't really, cause the main point of the drama, but it was definitely some of it. So the league matches, I would always play those, and whenever I would stream them, sometimes I would name the title, like a title involving her, right? So I did that, and I kept doing that to make her happy, and make her, reassured that nothing would happen, right? So, so basically, after all of that, after what happened, like, like another week passes by, okay? Now, the leagues didn't really affect much. That was it did affect, but not a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it it's just this one other chick. Let's call her Cass. Okay. So me and Cass, way before me and Elena got together, me and Cass had a crush on each other. Okay. Now we didn't act on it at that time because she had a boyfriend, but at this point we didn't feel that way about each other anymore. So that's the backstory. That's the backstory on what happened. With all that, and so uh, my girlfriend at that time was not very happy about me still being friends with Cass. So Cass, uh, and I'm going to be completely honest. Cass did nothing wrong like before this. But let's get on the backstory why she hates Cass. So me, Elena, and my friend that introduced me to Elena, and Cass were in an F13 lobby because I was trying to, be civil and, help her, introduce her to like, to my friend group, basically, right? Because then it would be like more easier to hang out with like everybody. So I would uh, hang out with all of them, which is amazing. I think that it's it basically just solves everything. Okay, so basically what happened is we were just chilling, playing as usual. Now at this point, Elena was really quiet. So, and she went to game chat. For those who don't know, there's like party chat and game chat. She went to game chat, and I like I like went in game chat and tried to like talk to her. I was like, yeah, hey, is everything okay, babe? And she didn't respond. Instead, like how there is like emotes on Friday, she went and flipped off Cass as it emailed on Friday, and then did the throat slit emote um, to uh, Cass. And then at that point, she left the party, she left the game, and at that point, I was like, "Hey, babe, is everything okay? Like, you can talk to me. Like, it's fine. I'll understand. Blah 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 blah." And she's like, "Why? Why would you hang out with that bitch?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And and at that point, she was like, "It's obvious that you were flirting with her." Blah 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 blah. Now, I would only talk to Cass if like she was asking me a question or like like trying to get something in the game. Blah 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 blah. And that's really it. Like sure, like I would like laugh at shit, and because it's common sense, laugh at something funny. You know what I mean? If and if my girlfriend at the time did it, I would laugh too, right? I'm a pretty easily pleased guy. Pause. But anyway, so all that happened, and I was like, you don't have to worry about anything, babe. Like I only love you, nobody else. I promise you. And she wasn't buying it. So at that point is when I told her, I was like, look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I did used to have a crush on her, but ever since I started dating you, that went out the window. I swear to you. And she's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes. I swear on my life. I swear on our life that that's not the case. I promise." And she let it go. Okay, she let it go. Now, it was at that point. Let me introduce you to her best friend. Let's call him Todd. Okay, let's call him Todd. Now Todd, he always had like a crush on my girlfriend. Um, so I was on edge, and at that time I was a jealous motherfucker. So Todd always had a crush on my girlfriend. Okay, so um, let's just say about Todd. Todd was a year older than her, but a year younger than me. Okay, so Todd, he basically would uh give like subtle hints about like flirting with her, right? Like, and I would be pissed off and shit. Now, me and Todd are like we still talk occasionally to this day. Okay, so me and Todd are still civil, but back then that was not the case. Todd would, always, like I said, make like subtle flirtatious remarks, and I wasn't having it. You know what I mean? So, uh, like me and my girlfriend always had like a running joke, um, like an inside joke towards him that he did not like. So he didn't like me very much. I didn't like him very much. So Todd would always like very subtly flirt with Elena, right? And like I said, man, I wasn't having it. I did not like it. So again, let's fast forward to uh what she does. Okay, now if you guys don't know, she made me have my PlayStation on every night, every day, 24/7, in a party with her, and I could not leave. If I left, she would just assume that I am cheating and I am with somebody else. When in reality, man, that just wasn't the case. I just wanted to conserve my PS5, which, by the way, did end up overheating, so I did have to get a new PS5. But, that's besides that point. I was a little pissed off at that. So, let's talk about, once again, Cass. The story is kind of going everywhere, but honestly, the relationship was everywhere. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. But let's talk about Cass, okay? So, Cass, the thing with Cass is she knew that Elena didn't like her, okay? So, and she wasn't going to tolerate the disrespect that Elena constantly, gave her. Uh, so Cass was, on edge, and so was Elena. Now the thing I'll say is that I don't know if Elena's racist or not, but let's just say Cass was a different race than Elena, and Elena would always, make fun of her because she was jealous of, you know, I don't know why she was jealous, but she was jealous. So she made, little jabs, little jokes, and I was like, yo, that's not cool. Like, she's my friend. Why, don't do that. And she said, "Oh, you're defending her, blah 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 blah. Don't do that shit. I'm your girlfriend. She's just your friend. Like, don't defend her." I'm like, "Yo, like, she may be like just my friend, but I can't allow you to make fun of her behind her back. Like, that's just not cool, babe. Right? Like, I mean, shit." And so, in reality, I, told her off. I was like, yo, that's not cool. And she's like, you're just defending her because you like. I'm like, I don't like her. Like, what don't you not understand? I do not like her anymore, bro. She didn't get that hint. She did not understand. And, it is what it is. Now, um, the thing is that she would never talk out her frustrations. Instead, she would text me them, and she wanted every single one of my social medias, man. She wanted every single one of them. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was insane. I gave her my PlayStation account. Now, granted, I had hers. I had her social medias as well because she gave them to me. I didn't ask for them. She just gave them to me. She also had mine as well, so it was equal. So, um, so she messaged her frustrations all the time, and it was annoying. Now, keep this in mind, I was a junior in high school. She was a freshman in high school when all this happened. And also, something that I need to point out, whenever we both were in school and she didn't have any Wi-Fi, she would always uh, just constantly text me on a app that you didn't need, Wi-Fi on, and she would get really mad if I didn't respond in time, and in time meaning 5 minutes. Okay, now for anyone that's been a high school student, you would know that shit you need to be on top of your work, bro. Like, for anyone that was a high school student, you need to be on top of your work. And she was a high school student as well at that time, and she still did really not care. It was really sad. But I did my best to respond to her and all that. And she got insecure because she's like, "Oh, you're texting other females, you know?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm just doing my schoolwork. Like, I need to pass, because yeah." And so a couple of months go by. Okay, A couple of months go by. There was this guy named, let's call him Josh, okay? He was another PlayStation guy like Todd and, all the other people. So let's call him Josh, okay? Josh would, he was one of her new friends that she had. And I also had a little bit of a problem called being jealous, okay? So let's talk about it. So Josh was this guy. Obviously, he's a guy. So Josh, he was one of her friends, playing like a different game. Not Friday, a different game. So, um, eventually, she wanted to introduce me to this guy, and I'm like, okay, lit, cool. So I did. This dude was also making flirty remarks, and I wasn't having it. I was pissed, and I was like, you know what? I really don't like you hanging out with this guy. Now, was this a good idea? No. This was the one mistake I feel like that I made, was basically telling her, look, don't like hang out with this guy. He's flirting with you. That was the one mistake that I made. Okay, I don't know if it was a mistake. To this day, it could be. I don't know if like I didn't know at that time. I was just panicking, all that. Now let's talk about another guy around this same time period that she hung out with every day. Okay. Now this guy wasn't hitting on her, but let's call him Robbie. Okay, Robbie was a bad influence on my girlfriend. Okay, Robbie, every single day that they would like hang out and party, and I would join, I would always hear this guy talking about booting people offline. I would always hear this guy, talking about basically not setting a good example for this chick. Now, this guy was like 26, 27 at this time. So, hanging out with a 16-year-old at 26 alone is kind of crazy, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I didn't trust them, and for good reason, because a year later, um, they weren't friends anymore a year later. So I don't know if they're friends right now, but they stopped being friends over a booting argument. So, there's that. So let's talk about another guy. I'm kind of talking about a lot of guys, but I swear they are relevant to this story. Let's talk about this guy. Let's call him Eli. Okay, let's call this guy Eli. Now Eli, I'm actually friends with him to this day, but at that time I did not like Eli. All right, I hated Eli. Why? I will tell you why. Now Eli and this chick got friends on Friday. Eli and Elena first got friends on uh, F13, Friday 13th the game, right? And so she, like all of her other friends, she wanted me to meet him, and like, yeah, so that's basically what I did. And now the thing is I noticed a lot of flirting signs. Okay, now this one thing that I did, I do not encourage you guys to do. So please do not do it if you guys are in a relationship. Even if you guys are not and you have somebody's social media, don't do that shit, please. But the thing I'm telling you not to do. So this chick and Eli were hanging out, and so was I. We were all in the same lobby. We were just chilling like a villain. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is we were just playing Friday. We were, like I said, chilling. And I noticed Eli make, sly remarks to this chick, Elena. So I not being trustworthy, and like I said, do not do this. Ask your significant other first. Don't go through it. But I went through her PlayStation, through the PlayStation app because I had her PlayStation. I did that, and I noticed messages of Eli calling her baby, baby girl, blah, 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 all of that. So I confirmed about it. I'm like, yo, why are you calling my girl all these names? Like, she's mine, back off, blah, 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 blah. And little did I know, this guy was getting like messages of her face, getting messages of not not nudes, like not those, but he was getting like a picture of this chick and um him basically in like a Minecraft setting, like basically a cover photo on her iPad. So now I kind of see that as a red flag. I don't know if, you guys do as well, but I kind of see that as a red flag, to be honest. Like, it's not really a red flag, but to me, it kind of is. To have another guy, like, as like a cover photo, I don't really think that's the best look. But anyway, now another guy comes into the story. My best friend. I'm not gonna hide his name because we are cool. Retro Snipes, or KFC Jason, but a lot of you know him as Retro Snipes. Now this guy, we were friends for a long time. We took a break for a while because of drama, but that passed, obviously. Now, Elena does not like him for, her own reasons. She explained to me her reasoning that, that he was a dick, which he can be, but he wasn't really a dick to her, if that makes any sense. So my best friend, KFC, he got into it with Eli, okay? He was pissed at Eli because he doesn't like whenever, somebody disrespects me, okay? So he got really mad. He was like, "Yo, Dragon, let's boot this guy offline." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. You don't need to do all that. I may not like Eli, but you don't need to do all that, bro." And so he didn't. He didn't do that. So that's besides the point. But it gets into like a little juicier a bit later. And so Eli basically sells Elena out, right? He was like, "Yo, I'm just gonna let you know, your girl, um, she's been sending me like, flirty pictures and shit like that, like not denying about like my nicknames that I call her." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I already knew this because I scrolled through, her PlayStation, right? But, that's basically that. That's basically what happened, right? So we we kind of like ignore that. Like I kind of ignore that red flag. Now Josh, Robbie, and Eli don't hang out with her anymore. At that point, and now keep this in mind. Um, so me and her actually had talks about meeting up. All right, and we did actually. We did meet up. But not before she uh, wants me to quit, leagues and tournaments because she doesn't really like that I'm not spending all of my time with her when I'm spending most of my time with her, right? So I do. I quit, league and tournaments and all that, And then a couple months down the road, we end up meeting up. Now, we end up meeting at the most romantic spot in the world. We end up meeting at a Walmart, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a Walmart parking lot, that is better than a fancy restaurant, okay? That's better than a five-star restaurant. Now, we end up meeting at a restaurant. Not restaurant. We end up meeting at a Walmart. Use the bathroom, do our business, and then we, basically say hi, hey, and we end up meeting and going to a park. Now, her parents, which, by the way, if her dad is watching the video, brother, I love you. You are the best, by the way. I don't have an issue with you. You are awesome. I love her dad. But, that's besides the point. um, but, her mom didn't like me. At least I'm pretty sure I don't think her mom liked me, which I don't know why. Like, I know it was her daughter, I know that, obviously. I know that she wasn't, she was very cautious of me, meeting her. So, I met her, and we went to this park. Now, her dad offered me to ride in their car. I did. And I thought, oh, this is going to be lit. I get to fucking ride in the car with my girlfriend. It's going to be fucking awesome. Now, that expectation was quickly drowned out. This chick was not talkative. And I was basically getting interrogated, man. Her mom was basically interrogating my ass. Now, one thing I will add is that before the meetup, uh, and basically before all that, she didn't tell her parents about us. Like, she didn't. I told mine about her, but she didn't tell hers about me. And that's fine, whatever. But like, I get it, but I kind of saw that as a red flag. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's besides the point. Um, and so eventually they ended up finding out from her best friend who tried to split us up. But that's besides the point. Now, the whole entire car ride that me and my girlfriend had, I was just getting interrogated by her mom. Okay, and that wasn't fun. It was pretty awkward. Stuff like, "What are your intentions with my daughter?" I'm like, basically just responding. I mean, I love her a lot. I didn't really know what else to respond. Fucking, I felt like I was about to die. At that moment, I feel like I was about to die. But there's that. We ended up arriving at the park, and everything was lit. We ended up hugging. Not kissing, because, it would have been pretty awkward with both of our parents being there, but, hey, it is what it is. Then her parents offer the idea, like, after, 30 minutes probably, of, us just standing there and hugging it out, blah, 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 blah. They offer the idea, hey, let's go for a walk. Now, it was just her parents, her, and me. So I thought I was going to get murdered, bro. I thought I was dead. I'm going to be honest with you. So we ended up walking. We ended up walking around the park. It was a pretty long walk, when we ended up chilling. Me and her dad, once again, fucking, we were, we were getting along real good. I was honestly starting to think that I was with him instead of her, right? So, there's that. But like I said, we ended up hanging out a lot, and eventually, like I said, we do go on a walk. We basically make fun of my girlfriend in a playful way, and like 10 to 20 minutes, like probably like 20 to 30 minutes later after that, we had to go because my brother, he wasn't very, he was bored, so we had to go, unfortunately, because of him. But yeah, so there's that. And then my girlfriend basically messaged me and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry that you had to go, but I really enjoyed hanging out with you." And after that, she was basically accusing me of not wanting to be there because I had to go. So she was a little bit salty. She was a little bit pissed. So that, ended up happening. Like, she was pretty mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. And so that's basically that. And back to, like, fast forward to, like, a year. Like, almost a year. Probably like 8 months. It was January of 2023. I was a senior in high school. She was a sophomore in high school. Because that's how aging works, right? So, uh, I was in my last period class, okay? So I was about to leave. I was excited. I was about to hang out with my girlfriend. So my girlfriend messages me and was like, "Hey, I don't think this is gonna work out." I'm like, and this was so out of nowhere, right? Like, I don't know uh what, I basically didn't know what to say. So I was like, I mean, if you want to end it, whatever. I completely get it. It is what it is. Like, I completely understand if you don't, want to continue. It's fine. Well, about 20 minutes later, she's like, "Hey, I changed my mind. I'm sorry. I really do still love you." I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because I didn't want it to continue if she didn't still love me. Because what's the point of a one-sided relationship? You know what I mean? So we continue. Now, the next couple months were chill. June comes around, and I get done with school. I graduate. And uh, she was disrespectful. I don't know where it came from, but she was hella disrespectful. And I did not enjoy it whatsoever. Like, she was basically going on and saying, because the whole senior year I was sick a lot, and I was actually sick. I wasn't trying to, like, get out of school or anything. I was actually sick. Like, I don't know what happened. I really don't know. But I was sick, like, a lot, a lot, a lot, and she didn't believe me. Like, she thought I was just evading and being lazy. And so she was saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have graduated, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "I did what needed to be done." And she's like, "No, the fuck you didn't." Like, I'm like, "Yo, I obviously did. I got this diploma." You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't buying it. I don't really know, what happened, like, what all, like, I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. And so, fast forward to August, because nothing really happened, besides, being in PlayStation parties, the whole day, and night, constantly overheating my fucking PlayStation, you know what I'm saying? Nothing really happened. And fast forward to August of the year is 2023, okay? So, August 15th, to be exact. No, not August 15th. This was August, like, 13th, okay? Now, August 13th, me and her were playing Dead by Daylight. Okay, well, she was playing Dead by Daylight. I was watching. She ran into this, bully squad, this insane squad, and she got completely obliterated. They ended up sending her hate messages after the game, and she was like, "Hey, so these guys are sending me, like, hate messages. Like, I'm gonna leave this chat, but I'm gonna, like, invite you to it. Please defend me. I really don't need all this stress right now." I'm like, "Okay, cool, fine," because I wanted to defend my girl, right? So I did exactly that. Now, this guy, okay, this one guy in specific, we will call him. Let's see. We will call him Dexter. Okay, let's call him Dexter. Now, Dexter, he was basically like fucking the main guy of the squad. At least I think so. um, so Dexter was, basically the one, mainly talking shit, and that basically happened. And I noticed, like, a couple days later, like, she was basically, like, radio silent, like, my girlfriend at the time, she was like radio silent. She wasn't like, she was messaging me, but not many messages. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Now, it was at this time where she, changed the password to every one of her social medias, right? And except for her PlayStation, though, she didn't change her PlayStation. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. I want to see what's going on. And so I checked her PlayStation, and I noticed something that I didn't want to see, that no uh, partner wants to see. Um, I noticed that she was cheating on me with Dexter, the same guy that talked shit to her, the same guy that she cheated on me with. Which, by the way, I'm I I'm actually pretty sure she regrets it to this day, because I have gotten messages that she regrets it. But that's besides the point. Now I, like a dumbass that I am, I was like, yo, we can work this out. Which, by the way, if someone's cheating on you, just, like, don't try to work it out. They obviously don't want to be with you. Like, they obviously don't give a shit. If they're cheating on you, just let them go, brother. Like, just let them go. You'll find a way better one in the future. Trust me on that. And, so, cheating happened, all that happened. And, basically, after the whole thing, I was like, okay, whatever. And now, whenever me and her first got together, I had this whole thing where I was like, look, I'm not going to be the one to break up with you, blah, 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 because I feel bad, and, like, that's really just not my style. Like, I don't like to be the one to break up with somebody, okay? Like, I I honestly just don't like it. Okay, so I was like, look, if you don't want to be with me, that's fine, but I'm gonna need you to break up, because I'm not doing it. I've said that I wasn't doing it, and I'm gonna need you to do it. And she's like, no, you do it. I'm like, bro, it's really like, it was really childish behavior. Okay, and so I was like, you know what, whatever, we're done. And, it basically ended at that, except it didn't really end. The relationship obviously ended, her and Dexter obviously, got together. So, the reason I'm laughing is what comes next, okay? So, me and her were still friends, which, that didn't work out. Let's get to that. So, me and her at that time were still friends, okay? Now, I had this crush on another chick at the time, and like, I was basically like telling Elena how much that I liked this other chick, because I didn't know who else to talk to. Like, I like at at that time, and this was in like December of 2023. At that time, I was head over heels for this one chick. Not Elena, but this other one. We'll call her. We'll call her Destiny. Okay, we'll call her Destiny. Now, Destiny. Again, I was head over heels. I liked her. I told her all. I told Elena how much that I liked Destiny, because we were still friends. I don't know why I fucking trusted her with that information, but she ended up messaging Destiny, and I didn't know that, and that caused Destiny and me to not be friends and not hang out. So I confronted Elena about it, and I was like, "Yo, why the fuck you do that?" And we exchanged words. I called her a bitch. I was like, and that's why, your partner's gonna break up with you in like a couple years. And she didn't take too kindly to that. But so that happened. That whole thing happened. And so and fast forward to a month. Actually, I don't think it was even a month. It wasn't even a month. It was probably like a couple days later. Okay, and me and Elena were still friends, and I was like, "Yo," and she's like, "Hey, I have something to tell you," and I'm like, "What's that?" And and she said, so this one guy at my school like is like making fun of me and everything like that, and saying that not nice things, and I was basically like complimenting her, telling her it's fine. Which, by the way, I shouldn't be doing that. It should be her boyfriend doing that, not me. But she resorted to me to basically uh, be caring for her, which is kind of funny if you ask me. But that's besides the point. So this chick, I was basically being nice to her, like comforting her when I didn't have to be, and she thought I was being a dick, and I wasn't. I don't know how she thought that, and I got blocked on every single social media platform. I got blocked. So fast forward to actually a couple weeks later. This is why I'm making the story time. Okay, on TikTok, which by the way you can follow the TikTok Green Dragon underscore 57. Cheap plug. But anyway, yeah. Around that time, like a couple weeks ago, this chick keeps blocking me and unblocking me to check my TikTok profile, which I find absolutely funny. And the last time that she unblocked me, which was again a couple weeks ago, I got sent a message, and as soon as I seen it, it got deleted, and she blocked me again. The message that she sent was, "Hey, my boyfriend isn't, being nice to me right now, and I'm sorry that I left you. Like, I'm really sorry that I did that to you. I was completely in the wrong." And I'm like, I know, I didn't say that because I couldn't, because she blocked me, and I was like, in my head, I was like, I know. Right? And like she typed like a whole paragraph about it, and I don't remember the exact words because she deleted it. But I was about to say I was about to be like sucks to suck, and that's tough because at the end of the day, it was her fault what she did to me, and she has to live with the karma. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, that really ends the second story time. It's gone on way too long, but I had to add all the details that I remember into it. But yeah, man, if you guys have enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. We upload daily, or not daily, we upload weekly. I try to upload daily, but I've been slacking. But I upload weekly gaming videos, whether it be Dead by Daylight, Friday 13th, mainly Dead by Daylight, but we have some F-13 gameplay in the background just for all the F-13 people. I see you guys in the comments, by the way. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys, all the support and everything. More gaming videos to come. Stay tuned. More streams to come as well. Stay tuned. Normally my stream time is about 10 p.m. EST. But anyway, I appreciate you guys sticking by. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys all in the next video/live stream. Peace.